Here we go again. Benjamin Akakpo is my name. I'm your grammar police, and I'm here today to serve you English made simple. Because yes, English is complicated, but also loads of fun. You need to master certain rules and understand some core principles. Yes, you can. Come along with me and let me show you how. So today on English Made Simple, or EMS for short, I shall walk you through a little grammar, an idiom, a word for the day, and saying it right. So let's start from right here. The rule, who or whom. Now, you use who when referring to the subject of a sentence or clause. Subject of a sentence or clause. Think who. Who is performing the action? Whom is used when referencing the object or recipient of an action. Who is receiving the action? Who is the object of the action? Are you noting some differences there? So why it matters is that it's a grammatical problem even native speakers of English struggle with greatly. Here are some examples. The man who saw us last night came back today. Guess what? Who saw us? The man did. He performed the action of seeing. Look at the second example. The man whom we saw last night came back today. Whom did we see? The same man. But in this instance, we saw. Whom did we see? The man. So who or whom? In fact, almost everyone I speak with, listen to, or read from usually uses who throughout without switching them where necessary. This is a grammatical problem even native speakers of English, like I mentioned, struggle with a whole lot. For starters, both who and whom are pronouns, which means they stand in for or take the place of a noun or noun phrase. Specifically, they are a subcategory called relative pronouns, that is, when connecting clauses, or interrogative pronouns when asking questions. Delving even deeper, who serves as a subject pronoun, that is the subjective or nominative case used when the word is the doer or performer of an action in a sentence or clause. Whom, on the other hand, is an object pronoun, that is the objective case, which is used when the word is receiving the action or is the object of a preposition. Now, the core difference between the two lies in their grammatical case. Who, like I've mentioned, is a subjective pronoun. It functions as the subject of a sentence or clause, the one performing the action, like I, he, she, we, or they. For example, who ate the cake? He ate the cake. Whom, on the other hand, is an objective pronoun. It functions as the object of a verb or preposition, the one receiving the action, like him, her, me, us, or them. For example, to whom did you speak? You spoke to him. Are you getting the difference? Here's a simple strategy you can employ to work around the difference between these two pronouns. If, in a clause or question, you can replace the reference word with he or she, use who. If you can replace with he or she, use who. If you can replace it with him or her, use whom. If you can replace it with him or her, use whom. Here's an example. Kwame is a man who does not play with his time. In other words, he, that is Kwame, is a man who does not play with his time. Here's another example. Who is the fastest athlete in this team? Now, we are talking about a specific person, so he or she. Thus, we use who. Now, whom? Here's an example. To whom was the message sent? To whom was the message sent? Who received the action of the sending is what you should ask yourself. That person. So, whom? Again, whom do you trust? Not who. You are performing the action of trusting, but the recipient of your trust takes the pronoun whom. Hence, whom do you trust? Not who do you trust. Here's a quick test. Are you going to use who or whom? With who or whom are you meeting this afternoon? What do you think? With whom are you meeting this afternoon? You are meeting the person. With whom are you meeting? Another one. Is Amos the one who or whom paints so well on canvas? What would you use? Who is performing the action of the painting is what you should ask. It is Amos, so who. But is Amos the one who or whom you invited to paint with you? Note the difference. In the first instance, Amos was painting, but in this instance, you invited him to paint with you. So is Amos the one whom you invited to paint with you? Do you get the difference now? More practice will help you perfect this for both your written and spoken English. All the best on that. Come back with me to my slides. Now, here are some common mistakes. This is the man who you met. You often hear people say this. It is wrong. You should be saying, this is the man whom you met. Here's another one. She is a woman who I admire a lot. Think about it. I admire that person. She receives the action of my admiration. She is the object there. And so we should say, she is a woman whom I admire a lot. Look at where the verb is. Usually it gives you a clue. So, quick practice again. This is the one or he whom warned me or who warned me. I'm sure this is pretty simple. The correct answer is who. This is the one who warned me. It is he who warned me. Remember, who reflects a subject. Whom reflects an object. I'm sure that is clear for now. Here's our idiomatic expression or our idiom for the day. It is sweat blood. And the meaning, to work extremely hard in order to achieve something. To work extremely hard in order to achieve something. In a sentence, people had sweated blood to build up their businesses and they felt threatened by the shift in policy. People had sweated blood to build up their businesses and they felt threatened by the shift in policy. Our word for the day, whatnot. Whatnot. You may have heard it or read it somewhere, but what does it mean and how is it used? Whatnot is a noun. It is used informally. Now, it usually is used with and whatnot. It usually is used with and whatnot. And whatnot. Now, this is how it's pronounced. Whatnot. Whatnot. Meaning, whatnot means and other similar things. And what have you, etc. That is the meaning of whatnot. In a sentence, you could say, you can buy snacks and whatnot at the bar. You can buy snacks and whatnot at the bar. You could also say, that will give you enough time to get the table set and whatnot. That will give you enough time to get the table set and whatnot. That's how you can use that word. Now, while the most common casual phrase is and whatnot, meaning etc. or so on, the word can also stand alone depending on the context. The word whatnot can function in a few different ways. An example is as a placeholder name for an object. For example, she kept the vase and all sorts of whatnots on the shelf. You see, I have pluralized whatnot. She kept the vase and all sorts of whatnots or all manner of whatnots on the shelf. And so note that in that context, it could be used in that way without and it could also be pluralized. Finally, let's take a look at our word for the day in terms of pronunciation. Say it right. And here we go. I'm sure many of you see this word and the common pronunciation is cocoa, but in English, that is not the proper pronunciation. So let's go to our friends here. Is it cocoa? Is it cocoa? Is it cocoa? Which one do you think it is? Well, it's actually, if you look at the phonetic transcription, it is cocoa. Cocoa. Now the stress, when you see this thing here, the slight mark, it indicates where the stress falls. So it falls on the first syllable. So it is co. You may not round your lips properly and say the O sound, but at least you must put the stress here. So properly pronounced, you would say cocoa or cocoa. At least put the stress where it ought to be. But if you say cocoa, that one, you're out of coverage area. So the stress is on the first, not the second syllable. And that's how we end EMS for today. That's a wrap. But don't you forget, learn it, say it, speak it. Hopefully, you've learned something. Now it's time for you to say it, practice, and then speak it confidently. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. This has been EMS. Thanks for watching.